This video is gonna be different. For some, you may have already lost interest, but for others, the more technical people, this video might be one you've always wanted me to make. Today's video is going to be an in-depth but fairly quick rundown of everything that I use to make the content that I make, whether that be Minecraft content or whether that be real-life content. In order to make this video easy to follow, I'm going to divide this video up into 5 different segments: the computer components, the essential peripherals, the miscellaneous peripherals, the software that I use, and everything else. While visually, this video might be quite technical in nature, I'm actually going to keep the verbal explanations simple so those of you who want more details can pause the video along the way. So without any further ado, let's check out my computer setup, 8 years in the making. Before getting started, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. If you have the desire or passion to be a creator, then don't let this video discourage you. You don't need what I need to be successful. I started out with far less than I have now. In fact, all I started out with was a cheap video capture card and some free editing software. If you have an idea, then use whatever resources you can get your hands on and just focus on creating. With that said, as my career has evolved, so too has my setup. And at the heart of it all is my computer tower. Generally speaking, I try to always have a fairly top-of-the-line computer. I'm a big geek like that. While, yes, specs like this are completely overkill for Minecraft, it's not so overkill for heavy gaming, video editing, animation rendering, and things of that nature. To me, what's most important is not having a computer that is exactly adequate for my needs at that moment, but rather is exceptional for any task I might throw at it from now and into the future. But there are 2 unique elements of my system that I'd like to quickly explain. First of all, my hard drives are in RAID 1. Meaning that I have 2 copies of all of my data at all times. So if one of the drives die, I can replace it and not lose anything. And second, yes, those are water cooling tubes that extend into the floor. Long story short, I've been a fan of Linus Tech Tips for years, and in 2015, I decided to recreate their whole room water cooling project. I decided on this approach for cooling my computer for 2 reasons: to keep my office cool and especially quiet, without the sound of loud fans cooling my computer, and without the heat of my computer being dumped into my room. As a result, I am able to achieve both results flawlessly. And after 4 years, it still works great. With the computer tower itself out of the way, let's check out everything that's plugged into it and begin going over the essential peripherals. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly why I use everything that's listed here, because honestly, it's just personal preference, but there are a few items on this list that I would like to explain in greater detail. First up, the USB 3 hard drive dock. Short and simple, I store every single rendered video and all of my raw camera footage, although not all of my in-game footage, on a pair of 10 terabyte hard drives. While there are better solutions for this sort of thing than what I'm doing, like a server or something, this solution does the job for me as of right now for storing footage that I don't immediately need to access at any given moment. Next up, the face cam. While I don't do face cam footage on this YouTube channel anymore, if I do decide to live stream myself playing games or something, I like to have exceptional quality all the way around, and a webcam just doesn't do it for me anymore. This also doubles as my primary footage camera alongside the Canon 70D that I'm using to film this specific shot. And last up, the Elgato Stream Deck. Now, I suppose it's better late than never to say that this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but I just want to say that I flippin' love the Stream Deck. Yes, for over $100, it's expensive for a 15-button keypad, but I am a visual learning person. I have a hard time memorizing exact key combinations, custom macros, and things of that nature. Using the Stream Deck, alongside AutoHotkey and IFTTT, I'm able to execute advanced macros for video editing, program behavior, and things of that nature. I can launch websites I use all the time without cluttering up my bookmarks bar, and I can even manage home automation options right from the Stream Deck. Knowing what I know now, I would have paid twice as much for the Stream Deck, but Elgato, please, don't increase the price. Thanks in advance. Now, all of what I just explained makes up what I'd call the essential peripherals of my computer system, but there are a few more, less important items that I want to get through. Specifically, I want to highlight 3 items. First up, my battery backup unit, also called an uninterruptible power supply, or UPS. If my power goes out for any reason whatsoever, or if I even have a power surge, this thing kicks in and allows me to either keep working or safely shut down my computer if the power doesn't come back within about 10 minutes or so. Out of everything that I have, this is easily the most underrated, overlooked item that creators might not bother to get, but it has saved my butt many, many times before. So, alright. Next, the notebooks on the floor. Just under 3 years ago, I completely switched up my style of content on YouTube. I went from making live gameplay commentary videos to carefully crafted and scripted content that I make today. Within these binders are hundreds of video ideas. At this point, the notebooks are mostly symbolic, but even with the outdated ideas that are written within them, if I ever need a boost for creative thinking, opening up one of these notebooks usually gets my creative juices flowing. And last up, the centerpiece of the entire office, my original 1 million YouTube subscriber play button. Fun fact, I was actually the 153rd YouTube channel to ever hit 1 million subscribers. It's been a pretty wild ride for quite a few years. But alright, let's say for a moment that I'm traveling. I'm not at home and I don't have access to any of this, but I still need to get work done while on the go. Well, here's where my travel setup comes into play. Within this bag is absolutely everything that I might need at a moment's notice in order to continue working while on the go. So let's see what I've got. First up, my laptop, which is a slightly older, late 2016 Razer Blade, along with its charger and another hard plastic mouse pad. Occasionally, I'll also travel with this USB portable Type-C monitor as well. If I know a heavier project is on the horizon, then I'll travel with it. But easily, my favorite item of all is, well, everything else, organized into this cocoon organizer. Personally, I hate it when I reach into my laptop bag only to find that everything is loose and potentially getting damaged in the process. But alright, let me lay everything out on the table. Literally, I didn't mean anything metaphorical by that. This is everything that I choose to bring with me on the go. Everything here has a reason for being here. I keep the USB battery because having a dead phone while traveling kinda sucks. I keep the SanDisk Connect on hand to act as a mobile SD card reader, and I also keep some movies on it while traveling as well, just in case. Aside from that, everything that I choose to travel with fits into 2 categories. It's lightweight and it's extremely functional. And at a moment's notice, I can just pick up this bag and go. Wow, that was a lot more than I expected, but we're not done yet. Last up on this gigantic list is the software that I use to make a living, along with some of my capture hardware as well. Thankfully, this is all much easier to explain. To capture PC gaming footage, I either use a program called DxStory, or for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, I use NVIDIA Share. To capture HD console footage from either my Nintendo Switch or my Xbox One S, I use an Elgato HD60 Pro. To capture footage from old consoles, such as my Nintendo 64, Nintendo Wii, or PlayStation 2, I use a GV USB 2 capture card along with a CRT television as well. And to capture video from my camera while I'm using it as a webcam, I use the Elgato Camlink. And last, but certainly not least, to edit my videos, I use Sony Vegas, and to edit my thumbnails, I also use Sony Vegas. And to live stream, I use Open Broadcast Software, otherwise known as OBS, which I might get into at some point in the future, but not today. There's just way too much. So, this video was exhausting. And that just about covers that. This video took way more effort than my usual videos, not only in how long the video is, but in how information dense it is as well. But before you go, if you feel like checking out our recent video on the release of Minecraft 1.14, then I'll have it linked on the top right corner of the screen. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on it, because it would really help out myself, the channel, and the video quite a lot. So I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.